In a quiet village wrapped by green slopes, a young boy called Ethan attended the nearby school. He was no different from other children his age. He enjoyed running around with his friends, hearing birds chirp, and lying on the ground while staring at drifting clouds. That simple routine made up his world. Yet there was one area where he constantly felt defeated, and that was academics. No matter how much effort he put in, the lessons never seemed to make sense to him. His errors became a source of amusement for classmates, and their laughter cut deep. Over time, Ethan's belief in himself slowly faded away. One afternoon, when classes had ended, Ethan noticed that Mr. Harris, the philosophy teacher, was still inside the classroom, sitting quietly. With hesitant steps and a nervous heart, Ethan approached him. Speaking gently, he said that he needed to share something. Mr. Harris looked up, motioned him closer, and invited him to sit. After a brief pause, Ethan admitted that learning felt impossible for him. He explained that his memory failed him, his concentration was weak, and he felt stuck with no hope. He asked if the teacher could guide him. Mr. Harris responded with a warm smile and reassured him that many students struggle in similar ways. He told Ethan that real change was possible if he was willing to try. The teacher promised to show him 5 easy yet meaningful methods that could sharpen his focus and transform how he studied. He began by saying that the first step was to settle the mind. Mr. Harris handed Ethan a clear bottle filled with cloudy water and asked him what he noticed. Ethan answered that it looked dirty. The teacher suggested leaving it undisturbed for some time. After a while, the mud sank and the water turned transparent. When asked again, Ethan observed that the water was now clean. Mr. Harris explained that the human mind works the same way. When it is crowded with anxiety, fear, and restless thoughts, clarity disappears. Before opening a book, he advised Ethan to sit quietly, shut his eyes, and pay attention to his breathing for 5 minutes. This simple habit would help the mind become calm and ready to absorb information. Next, Harris talked about staying aware of the present moment. He placed a burning candle on the desk and asked Ethan to look only at the flame without letting his thoughts drift. At first, Ethan's attention kept slipping toward worries, friends, and upcoming tests. Gradually, though, his focus settled on the flickering light. The teacher explained that the past was already gone and the future had not arrived. Only the present truly existed. Whenever Ethan noticed his mind wandering during study time, he should gently guide it back to what he was doing and practice this daily. Then Mr. Harris introduced another idea, telling Ethan that learning was about comprehension, not rote memory. He placed a sponge and a stone on the table and slowly poured water over both. When a sponge is placed in water, it absorbs it completely, while water simply slides away from a stone. The teacher explained that some learners behave like the stone because they only try to cram information. However, those who focus on grasping ideas, visualizing concepts, and learning through real situations act like the sponge. They retain knowledge for a long time. That's why understanding matters far more than rote learning. Another important lesson was about dividing learning into smaller steps. Mr. Harris handed Ethan a large wooden piece and asked him to snap it. Despite using all his strength, Ethan failed. Then the teacher sliced the wood into small sections, and breaking it became easy. He explained that huge subjects cannot be mastered in one go. Instead, they should be split into manageable pieces. Study a bit daily, pause briefly, and then continue again. This approach keeps the mind fresh and makes learning smoother. Another lesson focused on consistency. Mr. Harris placed seeds in 2 containers. One was watered daily, while the other was ignored. After some time, a tiny plant emerged from the watered pot, while the other remained lifeless. The teacher said that giving your studies a small amount of time every single day leads to progress. But studying once and then avoiding it for days brings no benefit. Even a short daily session, like 20 minutes, can make a difference. In the weeks that followed, Ethan applied all the guidance given to him. Initially, he didn't see instant improvement, but gradually he realized he could focus longer. Lessons became clearer, fear faded away, and his performance improved. Above all, learning started to feel enjoyable. 5 years later, Ethan grew into a successful individual. He often reflects on that moment when his philosophy teacher taught him simple habits that transformed his learning journey. If you are struggling with studies or any challenge in life, take a small step forward just like Ethan. Keep your thoughts steady, focus on understanding, and stay consistent. Tiny actions done daily can turn into great success. Faith in yourself and continuous effort will become your strongest assets. If you believe this story can inspire others, support it by liking and sharing, and subscribe to stay connected with us. I'll return soon with another motivating story. Until then, stay patient.